this one right here is not screwing in all the way. I don't know if you can see that. I advise everybody, if you're going to use these, before putting them in your clothes, before screwing them in on your clothes, or adding glue, whatever you're going to use, go through the entire batch. And these screws, they just don't go well with some of the studs. They're not all made equally. Some of them they don't screw in very well. So I'm making this video here showing these little spikes here. I just want to show that what it's like working with these screws here. So some of these screws are going to be great. Like if I'm twisting it, that's about as tight as it's going to go. That's how much room that you can get to with the screw, so that it looks like it's about a 1/16, nearly at or less than a 1/16 of an inch. But I just wanted to show this video to anybody out there that's interested in buying these little round studs, who wants to do, maybe something like this. I'm doing a jacket, and I'm putting them on a leather. It's about a thick piece of leather, but the leather's got some give to it, so I'm able to screw them in tightly. You can use the tool that is provided, which is this thing. I believe it's this thing that they provide you with, but I actually been using a leather puncher. Has the different size options on it. Anyways, I just want to demonstrate that some of these screws are not going to work with the spike, and I recommend, if you're going to use these, okay, well, I got lucky with this one, it worked, but I advise everybody, if you're going to use these, before putting them in your clothes, before screwing them in on your clothes, or adding glue, whatever you're going to use, go through the entire batch and screw on the nuts, or whatever it's called, to the back of the stud. Make sure they're all ready. Make sure you have them don't separate them, but make sure they're all together, because some of these screws, they just don't go well with some of the studs. They're not all made equally. Some of them they don't screw in very well. As I'm making this video now, now I'm finding some of the screws are working, but let me find one that isn't going to screw in well, because I've run into the problem a few times where they're not screwing in. This one worked. Let's see. Okay, that one worked. No. So as I hit record and I start screwing in these studs, most of them are working out pretty well now, but this one right here is not screwing in all the way. I don't know if you can see that, but we have the regular stud here. If I go back, maybe it's not put in all the way. Maybe I gotta put it in a certain way. No, so this one isn't working. I'll find another screw. See if that one works. So that one doesn't work. You're just gonna have to go through different screws with each stud and see which one is a match, because they're not all gonna match well together. And make sure you separate the screws that you already tried, like just a little off to the side, and go through all the screws and see which one is the matchmaker. It's just not compatible. And my kitty is hungry. It's time for the dinner. Okay. Maybe I'll try some screws over here. Maybe these will work, because they're not screwing in how they're supposed to. But my mistake that I made was I put glue in the hole. I got the fabric ready, to put the stud on, and the glue was starting to dry, and I ran into this issue. It wasn't screwing in. It's probably my first time using these. Maybe many of you out there are experienced with using spikes and studs and spiking a jacket, but I've only done it a couple times before, so I'm not really an expert, but I'm just learning this now. It's probably best to find what screw works with the stud. All of these are not really screwing in to this one right here, but so far I just have to find which one is compatible. So I just advise, if you're going to buy this kit on Amazon, just go through the screws, find out which ones are going to be compatible before you set your fabric, before you start punching holes in your fabric, and decide if you have a good batch of the spikes and the studs, because maybe I just had a bad batch. but I'm working with what I have. So